Hey everyone, so this is Carlos from the Renegade Variety Hour, and what I'd like to talk about today is losing 130 pounds. And the first question that's probably entering your head is, how the hell did I get to 320 pounds? Well, it all started when I was a little baby. No, just kidding. Basically, my change over my body and everything else that got me from going to about, when I was 15 years old, 210 pounds all the way up to the unbelievably high 320 pounds by the time I was 18 years old, had a lot to do with pharmaceutical drugs and my issues with them. Well, basically, I was stuck on some drugs when I was younger. I ended up, by the time I was 15 years old, I was on Adderall and a number of other drugs, antidepressants, anti-schizophrenics, insomniac medications, which ended up making my heart pretty much explode. I got off the ADHD medication, which then ended up shooting up my weight due to the fact that I was on Depakote, Zyprexa, and a number of other medications which caused massive weight gain. So by the time I was 18 years old, I was a fat and fluffy 320 pounds. I was huge. I had sleep apnea, basically obesity, very, very close to diabetes, and a number of other chronic issues which were not great. I had stretch marks up the wazoo, in my shoulders, in my stomach, around my waist, all around a bad, bad time. I ended up seeing another psychiatrist who stated, you know what, it might be a better idea to get the fuck off these drugs because they are making you unhealthy. Any drug that makes you balloon that much probably isn't going to be good for your health, especially your depression or your happiness, so it's best to get off. As soon as I got off those medications, my weight started plummeting. Boom, 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 boom. And I ended up losing about 60 pounds in a very short amount of time, about a year, a little bit less than a year. And from there, though, that's when the real battle started. Because that first, drop of weight, those melted off. And they melted off because of, not only because I got off the medications, but I also changed my diet. Basically, when I was living at my parents' house, there was pizzas, there was Hot Pockets, there was every single frozen type of food possibly imaginable to human beings to be able to consume, which we were never given in the past. Just 100 years ago, I bet you there was no frozen pizzas. So, after that, I moved out of my parents' house, and I had, well, a lot less calories to consume because I had a whole lot less money. I started eating things like grilled chicken. I started, doing the normal lean variety foods that everybody else has been told to eat, a bunch of diet foods, Weight Watchers, shit like that. And the thing is that those highly processed carbohydrates can actually help you lose weight in the beginning only because they're not very palatable whatsoever. And plus, the soul-crushing amount of dieting that I was doing is allowing me to lose weight, although be quite unhappy. So in order to be able to climb underneath that weight, to start losing more and more and more weight, I had to bust mass. I got almost anorexic. I constantly was thinking about my body all the time. I would look at myself in the mirror. I would get mad if I didn't lose a pound every single 3 days. It was utter hell. I was losing a lot of relationships with people around me, although some of those were necessary because at the time I was actually with a girlfriend who had an issue with me losing weight because she was afraid that I would leave her if I ended up being able to lose enough weight. Those are the kind of people, by the way, that are, and I know in Alcoholics Anonymous, everything else, they tell you to go away from certain people, which can throw you back into a disorder. Well, my disorder was obesity, and this person was trying to press me back into obesity so that I wouldn't actually think. So from there, I ended up losing a lot of weight by busting my ass, going on an elliptical machine every single day, basically chronic cardio, and it was difficult. It was incredibly difficult. Do not let any single person tell you that it is easy to lose weight. It might be easy for them, but man, is that rare. Once I got to about 230 pounds, 220 pounds, I was told about the paleo diet from a friend. I actually was told about the low-carb diet, and I bought into the whole insulin hypothesis, which essentially states that it's not a matter of calories, it's a matter of the insulin that mediates weight control, which turned out to be kind of false. But I bought into it, and I went ahead and went with the low-carb thing. Of course, what happened was what happens to many different people who go on a low-carb diet. You cut out things like wheat, you cut out things like sugar, you cut out highly processed foods, and by doing that, the food is less palatable, which makes you lose weight quicker. Because a lot of those foods, gluten gliadin, which is inside of protein, the protein which is in wheat, cause inflammation within the gut, which also has issues with your leptin receptors, which make it more difficult for you to actually be able to lose weight. And from there, once I cut out those foods, I would start eating less and less and less and less till I was about 205 pounds. And then I was stuck, and I was miserable. Was not very happy eating that small amount of carbohydrates. But then I read Good Calories, Bad Calories and said, oh, the reason why I'm still not losing weight is because I'm not in ketosis. So what did I do? I went ahead and cut down my carbohydrate amount to about 15 grams a day and started burping, and it would smell really, really bad. I started acting very weird. The wonderful girlfriend I was with, who's now my wife, not the person who wanted me to stay fat, actually suggested that the way I was acting was much more different. I was much more irritable and unhappy in general. Thankfully, I read a book called The Fat Loss Bible. Terrible name, but awesome author, Anthony Colpo, who actually brought up the fact that ketosis isn't a normal state of human beings. We weren't always sucking up fat constantly. So I actually looked into, okay, now these are calories that are actually important. I did cut down my total caloric intake. It was difficult, but by adding in things like starches and carbohydrates, I was actually able to balance out my weight. And now I'm the hot little, 190 pounds. And now I'm actually trying to build up strength and everything else. What I would like to bring up, though, is one, it is incredibly difficult to lose weight. There are ways, though, to make it less stressful. Those are the normal ones that everybody brings up: cutting out processed carbohydrates, cutting out wheat. For some people, cutting out rice, because for many people it's insanely palatable. Cutting out vegetable oils is massively important, not only for weight loss, but for overall health. Vegetable oils are incredibly high in omega-6 fatty acids, which cause omega-6 to omega-3 fatty imbalance, which can cause massive inflammation. Look it up. Also, exercise is very much key. I know people like Gary Taubes have brought up the idea that exercise doesn't really matter. That all it does is cause you to eat more. Well, you're eating, for some people this causes them to eat more, but a lot of times that's just restoring glycogen stores. And it allows for you to increase your lean mass while lowering your overall body fat. People do not want to lose 80 pounds of muscle. They want to lose 80 pounds of fat. And in order to do that, in order to help that process, you need to keep your protein content up and keep your fat content and keep your overall caloric intake lower, and to be able to exercise while you're doing that. And it's very, very helpful. It also allows for the continuation of weight loss, which is incredibly important for human beings. It also allows you to feel better. Exercise is unbelievably great for neurodegenerative diseases, or the prevention of neurodegenerative diseases, in the prevention of cancer and a number of other disorders, which are incredibly prevalent in today's society, which is incredibly sad, because we are spending all the time sitting and eating and sitting and eating and stressing and stressing and stressing and stressing constantly. Constant stress. And those are the rough ones, man. Those are the things you're going to have to get by. Those are the things you're going to have to meditate over. Those are the things you're going to have to work your ass off in order to be able to lose that weight. But for many, many people, you're going to be able to lose that weight. You're going to have to bust ass. You're going to have people around you who are willing to help you. You're going to have communities which are willing to help you. You're going to need to lose those people that have been terrible in your own life, who are perpetuating this fat disease to be perpetuated on yourself. You're going to need to be able to believe in yourself, because all the times that you felt bad about the fact that you kept on eating shitty food, all those times where you're constantly stressing out about, oh no, I accidentally ate this bad meal, I'm terrible, I might as well go off the deep rails. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you are capable of change and that you're capable of becoming a healthier human being. You can fucking do it. You just gotta bust ass. It's not gonna be easy, and don't listen to any of the gurus who will tell you it's fucking easy. I believe in you, even though I don't know you. But if you need any help, just message me on any of these YouTube comments. You can also catch me at the renegadevarietyhour.podomatic.com. We're going to have a regular website up pretty soon, but you can also catch us on Renegade Variety Hour on Facebook. Leave any kind of comments, send any messages into my inbox. I'm Carlos Morales, signing off. Thank you all. Have a very good day.